Hi, this is Gary with MACMOST.com. No, you don't have a virus or malware. All you have is notification spam, and it's easy to get rid of. MACMOST is brought to you thanks to a great group of more than 1,000 supporters. Go to MACMOST.com/Patreon. There you could read more about the Patreon campaign, join us, and get exclusive content and course discounts. Now, looking in forums online, you can see a lot of people that think they may have a virus or malware on their Mac because they see these messages at the top right corner of their screen. They appear here under notifications. You can see it appear here, or sometimes it just pops out by itself. Here I've got one for reminders. But what a lot of people see is one that either has a Safari icon and it claims that they've got some sort of virus or malware or it's been detected, or they see a macOS or a settings icon. Here are some examples of posts of this. Here you can see somebody showing one and it looks like it's a settings icon here and it shows that the Mac system is infected. Another example they show is this virus can be damaged. It's not even correct grammar. Here's another example here. Somebody took a screenshot on the side and you can see a whole list of these notifications all with the system settings icon. Here's another one here, system settings icon with a little badge with a 1 in it to the top right. And here's another one. Somebody took a picture again and you could see the system settings icon used like that. It's not always the system settings icon, but it's a very common thing to have. So the deal here is the messages that appear in the notification center or by themselves, they just slide over, have the icon of either the app or the website that is sending out the notification. So notice I said there are two things that could send out notifications there, apps or websites. Many years ago, both Apple in Safari and Google in Chrome allowed websites to send you notifications. Now, they can't just send you notifications. You have to agree to it. You have to sign up for that. But websites like to trick you into doing this. And if you end up at a website that's not above board, they might trick you into doing it and then send you false notifications, all in hopes that you'll click on them and maybe go and sign up for something they've got or maybe download something that is in fact real malware. But all you're seeing when you get this message is just a message from them. And it's easy to turn these notifications off. So what you want to do in Safari is go to Safari and then Settings, or in older versions of Safari it's Preferences. Then you want to go to Websites. So this is where it's tricky because you would think maybe this is under Security or Privacy. But any setting that's controlled on a website per website basis is under Websites. And you can see a whole bunch of different things here. You can control reader options, content blockers, video autoplay, and all of that for each individual website. And if you scroll down in this list, there's notifications. So you can control whether or not a website can send you notifications. Now, the only sites you're going to see here are either sites that you're currently at, like they're in some open tab, or sites that you've previously visited and you've given permission or specifically denied permission for them to show you notifications. So in this case I see 3 different sites here and you can see how I've allowed notifications for each one of those. So here is where you're going to find those sites that you've accidentally allowed notifications for. And you can simply change the setting for that site from allow to deny to turn off those notifications. Or you can select the website and simply click Remove to completely remove it. That resets it, which means it acts like you've never been to that website before. So you won't get those notifications anymore either. Now notice there's a checkbox here for allow websites to ask for permission to send notifications. Well, if you turn that off, then websites can no longer request this. So you can't accidentally approve websites asking for notifications when they're going to send you fake junk. But let's look at how this works in practice. I'm going to go to this one here and I'm going to remove it. I'm going to keep this turned on. And let's go to that site. Okay, so here I am. You notice it gives me this alert here at the top asking if I want to subscribe to their notifications. It doesn't actually even say notifications, it just says recent updates. So now the default is allow over cancel, and it's very easy to just think it's asking for permission to save cookies or it's just saying, some disclaimer about the website, and then you click allow. But look what happens now. I get this official looking dialog here. This is what you prevent when you turn off that checkbox. So that first thing, that will always be there when you first go to the website. The second thing will not appear if you've unchecked this in your website's settings under notifications. And I mention this because often people say, hey, I've unchecked that box, yet websites are still pestering me for permission to allow them to send notifications. They're always going to pester you with that first alert there because that's something they create on their own website. But this second alert here that allows you to actually grant that permission, that will be prevented if you have that box unchecked. Now, if I click Don't Allow here, you can see here the site appears in the list because I've given it a specific setting, but it's set to deny. And note another place that you can control which notifications you get is if you go into System Settings from the Apple menu, and then you click on Notifications here, and you can see a list of apps. But in with the apps are also websites. And you can select one here, and you can control how the notifications appear in greater detail. And you can turn it off here like that or set it to none. But of course, if it's truly spam, then you probably want to go into Safari and actually remove it from the list instead. The other thing to keep in mind is you can see the little icons here for each of these sites. So for these sites that are going to pest you with fake spam, they're going to go and set their icon to something like the System Settings icon to try to fool you into thinking it's your system sending the notification and not some website. One way you can tell where a notification comes from is if you bring up the notification and you control click on it, two-finger click on a trackpad, right click on a mouse, and then you get this little context menu. And at the top of the context menu, it tells you the origin of the notification, the app name or website name. Although the website name, of course, is determined by the website owner, so they could put something in there that deceives you into thinking it's a system notification or something like that as well. So if you want to proactively check for these before you get any spam, just go in Safari, into Settings, and then look under Websites and then Notifications on the left and see which websites you've allowed to send you notifications. Select any that you just don't want to receive notifications from or you don't remember approving. Select them and remove. And leave the ones where you specifically have decided to get notifications from. Now if you're using other browsers, they have this functionality as well. So for instance, if you use Chrome, go into Chrome and then Settings, and then go to Privacy and Security, and then Site Settings. And then scroll down and here you'll find Notifications. And here you find the default settings for this. And if you've allowed any sites, they'd be listed here, just like they are in Safari. So there's how to get rid of the notification spam you may be getting to try to fool you into thinking you've got some sort of virus or malware or other emergency. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, click the thumbs up button below to let me know. I publish new tutorials each weekday. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out.